All right.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Another episode of Helping Hands with Bex and Sam. Sam, go ahead and tell me what you were doing this weekend.
Oh my God. No.
No.
So
Looks like,
I work part time. And so I had that, and we had like, I don't know, 2, 3 people quit.
uh,
And then I had, a couple interviews to do, and then I signed up for an HB90 course because I don't have anything else to do. And that started today. And let's see what else. Oh, I actually have a job interview for another part-time job Thursday, so I've been freaking out about that. And yeah.
I would say you poured yourself a big hot cup of stress. So huge, like the grande size. Looks like we have Keisha here of Write the Dang Thing. And let's see. We're going to wait a few minutes for others to trickle in, and we're just going to chat a little bit. Hey, Barrett, thank you so much for joining us.
Ooh, house hunting. Awesome.
House hunting, where do you see this? Oh, hi, Laura.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Barrett. We sure do appreciate it.
Yeah.
You'd be so proud, Barrett. I'm running comments right now as we speak. Watch me go. Ready? Bam. Bam. Here we go. Bam. Bam. Look at me go.
Yeah. There we go.
Anyway, so anywho, my weekend has been just a mess. We have had one thing after another. I was cleaning some houses this weekend, trying to make a little extra buck because I'm hoping to go get my grandbabies for a few weeks in the summer. And gas has went up, as we all know. And it's like 800 some odd miles away, one way. So anywho, it's going to cost quite a bit. So anywho, that's kind of what I've been doing this weekend. So I'm tired. Daylight savings time did not help. And yeah, I blame daylight savings time.
Yeah.
Everything that goes wrong this weekend, Sam and I decided
for the rest of the week too, because I know it's not going to end today.
We're gonna throw it on there, and it all is blamed on daylight savings time. That is the culprit. It is not us. So,
right.
Oh mercy. So let's see. Laura says that let me see. Boop. Took a lovely nap today. It was much needed. I need a nap. I've got me some Red Bull right now. So I can see, I can barely see because I'm so tired. But anyway, let's see. Good luck with the house hunting, says Keisha to Barrett. And Laura. What is he trying? Oh, go easy. I was like, what kind of language is he using?
Go easy on yourself today.
He's speaking Elven language or something. Let's pronounce it fancy. Oh no. So, anywho, it looks like we have a few people here, and we are going to get started soon, guys. We're going to give it just a few more minutes. And yeah, anywho, I guess I can tell you, we have some construction going on in our house at the moment. And just a little funny thing here, my front room right now looks like a front room / bathroom / kitchen, because we had to take everything out of the bathroom, everything out of the kitchen, throw it into the front room. So that way the workers, when they come tomorrow, they're coming Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So it's just going to be a mess for the next 3 days until they get the flooring done, the plumbing fixed. There's just a lot. So yay.
So your front room is like a dorm room right now. You can touch everything.
It's like a studio apartment. So I might just have to load up my stuff and take off for Keisha's for the next 3 days. So she lives a couple hours away from me, and that might be something I could do. I don't know. But real quick, guys, I don't know if Sam wants me to spoil this or not, but I'm going to. Now watch her face. She's going to get really like, oh, what is she going to say? Oh my God.
Yes.
It's not drama.
Like my nerves aren't, anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's not drama. It's not heat. It's a new tag. Sam and I, right before we went live, came up with a new tag. So, Sam, what are we calling this tag?
Spouses of Writers tag.
There we go. So it's going to be, how many questions did we have it at?
18, wasn't it? No.
Can't be that much. Maybe 10. I think
10.
it was 10.
I think it was 10.
Okay. So yeah. We have, I mean, it could be. I'm over here saying, you can't do it. I'm not a good keeper of tags. So don't come at me. Anyway, we threw together some questions and we're going to try to get it taped and uploaded on Thursday, the 31st. So another tag for you guys. Woo! Anyhow, let's see who else is here. Let me go through here because you know me, guys. We'll be here all night. Okay, it looks like we got our same 3 here, and we are so excited that you are here. Everybody else, you can catch us on the replay because we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm Bex.
Lauren coming.
Oh, hi, Lauren. Thank you so much for coming. So as you guys know, we are Helping Hands with Bex and Sam. This is a live stream that we do once a month. We alternate channels. So if this month it's on my channel, you can find it next. Wait, I did it right.
Hey.
Next channel. And we are basically writers helping writers. And we will make some social media posts. You will find them usually in our brand colors, which are red and white, letting you know when and where you can ask questions, send them in to us, and we will get to them. So we just want to help. And so let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and throw it over real quick to Sam to let her intro. So Sam, take it away.
All right. Hey, everybody. For those that may not know me, I am writer Sam Wicker here on YouTube, and I write.
Yeah. That ain't what I meant to do. Watch me drive the struggle bus.
I don't want to be big. Anyway, okay. So, what was I saying? Yeah, I write a little bit. That's better. Okay. I write a little bit of everything, but I mostly write in the fantasy genre. And I always throw in a dash of romance into my fantasies. But I do dabble in short stories and other fiction in every single genre that there is. And on my channel, I do tips and tricks. And I try to help writers write their stories. And I also help creatives who might be experiencing some of the issues that I do, such as depression and anxiety, and how to deal with those things while being a creative.
Awesome. That's, she doesn't do much, guys.
No. No.
She's always got something going on. Okay, real quick, let me address this comment. Barrett says, Sam, your segment airs on my show tomorrow. I forgot to tell you, but I'm losing my mind with this house hunting.
I got you.
We understand. Now, we want just to premise this real quick by saying you have to find a house with a doggy door. Hint, hint, Ricky.
Yes. Yes, very much so.
Hint,
and a little bit of a backyard too.
Yes, that's always good for the doggos. We are manifesting it for you. We are trying our hardest. So anyway, guys, I'm Bex. I have a channel on YouTube called The Novel Nana, and my channel is mostly for newbie writers, but all are welcome on my channel. I do a lot of tags. I do documenting my writing journey, and I do a lot of kind of workshop behind the scenes type things. I do, I basically just talk about writing and anything writerly related. And you know how I love my whiteboard sessions. So anyway, you can find me there on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So anywho, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Again, this is Helping Hands with Bex and Sam. So real quick, I'm going to go over our mission statement. So let me go ahead and pull that up because I haven't yet memorized it. So,
are we memorizing things now?
Oh, if I don't have to, then I'm not putting that pressure on me.
No, no. There's notes. There's paper over here for a reason.
Right? I know. I'm learning how to like multitask behind the scenes. So you may ask, what is Helping Hands all about? Simply put, we are writers helping writers any way that we can. We are here to provide respectful, personable, knowledgeable, and relatable advice, tips, and answers to you, our writer family. Our goal is to provide a safe place for you to ask your questions and to voice your concerns. You are among friends here. We won't allow any negativity or disrespect in our streams. We have your back. So we want to help others, other writers, tackle the issues that they may be facing. And if it matters to you, then it matters to us. You are not alone, and no question is too silly or too small for us not to address, okay? So together we are going to find an answer to the issue, and we will be answering those questions one at a time. And if you have a sensitive issue or question, then you can always DM us on our social media platforms. We've also linked some resources for you in the description box below. If they're not there right now, they will be after the stream. And whether or not it's writing related or writer life related, we are here to offer you our helping hand. So I got through it this time. Sam, aren't you proud?
I am very much proud. I love you. You're doing good.
Yay. Looks like Maggie Ward, Mama Maggie's here. Sorry, just sharing this on other ending streams and social media. Yes. So my mind went somewhere else for just a second, but we're good. We're all good now. No. Sam's like, cut it out. So tonight we only have 7 questions. So if you do happen to have a question for us, we would like for you, let's see if we can find that real quick.
I gotcha.
You got me. I knew it. You always have my back, and that is why I love you. Okay, so Sam went ahead and put it down there on the ticker for you guys. If you do have a question, just denote it for us with a Q. And after we answer the questions that were sent in to us by social media, then we will make sure that we check the chat afterwards. So anyway, Laura is so proud of me. I don't know why, but thank you. I'm so happy.
Because you're killing it. That's why.
Barry should be the one's proud of me because he has been after me for a long time to learn this stuff. And I'm really, really trying. I'm really, really trying. So anywho, let's see. Let's go ahead and get to our first question. Yep. Okay, this question comes to us from Sammy R. So take it away, Sam.
All right. Sammy wants to know how much information is too much for a character profile. Now, there's no, just like most things writerly related, there is no surefire 100% this is the answer to the universe thing. So with character profiles, it mainly relies on your story, what you're writing. If you're writing a short story, you don't have to have all that much in the character profile. But as with most things, there is kind of like a somewhat of a standard. And I'm going to share what I put in all of my character profiles, whether it's short story or a 3-book series or something like that. I have some semblance of this. Now, with like a 3-book series, I expound a lot more on these character profiles. Like there's like 5 pages of character profiles sometimes. But this is what I have. I have the name, I have their age, I have their appearance, whether they have any scars or tattoos, or if throughout the story they're going to gain these. I have their speech, kind of like their grammar, how educated they sound, if they have tags like, or or something like that. I have their personality traits. I have their relationships, what they have at the beginning of the story, what they have in the middle of the story, and what they have at the end of the story. I have their location that they grew up, any kind of things that that location might give them, like which kind of goes into their speech and stuff like that, but maybe their looks and appearance and stuff too. I have their job. I have key past events, like if they had some sort of trauma, or if they had like grandparents, or if they grew up alone or something like that. I also have their primary goal and their motivations, because that's going to help you carry that character throughout your story. And then I have where they are at the beginning of the story, where they're going to be at the middle of the story, and where they're going to be at the end of the story. And that's pretty much it. All right, Bex, what about you?
I muted myself. It's not a real stream until you forget to unmute, right? Like,
right.
That's the way it goes. My answers are similar. So I believe there is never too much. There's never a certain amount. It's literally whatever amount that you, as the writer, need to visualize and write for that character specifically. So if that means you need to know their name, age, race, religion, beliefs, morals, values, education level, their speech patterns, their slang that they might use, their career, their aspirations, their favorite color, their favorite food, their mortal enemy, their whatever it is that you need to be able to visualize your character and to bring them to life on the page. So I don't think there is a right or wrong answer. It's just you as the writer, whatever information you need to be able to tell the story and make that character come alive. So for me, it's just, I have, depending on the story that I'm writing, some characters and some stories, I want more, more information on certain characters than others. So it really is up to you. So there is no right or wrong answer. It's whatever you as the writer need. So be as detailed as you need to be. And onto this, I want to pull up this comment real quick.
Yeah, we've got 3 gems in the chat.
Mama Maggie says you don't have to put everything you create in a profile or world build in the story. Those are for you, not necessarily the reader. And that is an excellent point. I had actually said that to Sam. What was it, yesterday that we talked, or was it the day before? Sam, I'm losing time so bad.
Friday. Friday? Yeah, it was Friday.
Okay. So Friday, we were actually discussing this as we got the questions. We were comparing the questions that we had got on our social medias. And this was a fabulous point that you made, Maggie, because both Sam and I came to that same conclusion, and we wanted to make sure that we addressed it. And wouldn't you know it, we both forgot to say it. So thank you, Maggie. You saved us on this one. Like I said, guys, this is writers helping writers. So it isn't just us hosts. It is the people in the comments. It's you, other writers. So
and anyway, sometimes the hosts need a little help too.
That's right. That's right. So, it really does make a huge difference to draw that line, because of course you don't want everything, thrown at the book. You don't want to throw the book at your book. Or throw the book at your reader,
Unless they are buying the book with the character profiles in it, like your book Bible. If you make a book Bible to sell, then have as much information as you thought up in your little brain in it.
Throw some money that way, right? Like you want to be able to be paid for that kind of information, because depending on what kind of story you're writing, that thing may get really super thick. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and throw up some more comments here.
Okay.
Can you read this one for me?
I got you. Okay. All right. Sometimes Laura says, sometimes I have no character profile except they fear death for my micro horror stories. Can't put much in that's not affecting the story when there are only 100 words to work with. Exactly. That just made me giggle. It's only they fear death. Sorry.
Say that again.
I said it's only that they fear death. That's all.
That's it. No biggie. Okay, let's do another one here. Bring this one up. Write the dang thing. She says, make your character profile as long or as short as you want, but only bring it into the story as it is needed to make the story move. Yes. Can I give a star? Like, that's, you guys are on it. You guys are so on it. Sammy R., I hope that all of our, people that we're paying on the side to give great answers. We hope that this is helping you, Sammy. So hopefully your question was answered. And if not, you can always, let us know if you need more specific answers to more specific question. So that's what we have on that question. So Sam, on to question number 2.
All right. So yeah, this one's yours.
Okay.
Take it away.
I cannot read the name.
Okay, that is Meh Chocolate 12.
Okay, I'm so glad you pronounced it because I would have butchered it. Okay, so they ask, how do you deal with writer's block? Okay, well, if you go back and watch the first stream, I could tell you how I dealt with that, like in detail. But I think for everyone, it is different. And sometimes it's not really a full block. Sometimes it's just a pause, right? Sometimes you just need to get out of your own head or get out of your own way. There are many different things that you can do to try and overcome it. Sometimes, depending on how you deal, you might want to try just facing it head on and put pen to paper. Just write anything and everything, kind of a stream of consciousness on paper. And sometimes that's enough to get rid of that mental block or that mental fog that you might be facing. Sometimes you can just do something out of the ordinary, change where you are writing, change locations. So, visit a coffee shop, or, if you write in your front room, then try your kitchen or your bedroom, or maybe outside. Changing your location oftentimes does something to your mind. It gives you kind of like a fresh energy and a different perspective. Maybe if you put on some tunes in the background, that might be able to help you release a different type of energy and use a different part of your brain, so it's not so blocked. But there are many different things that you can try, and I have listed one for you, or a couple of them for you, and I'm going to go ahead and let Sam answer this same question.
All right, so we did work on this in the first stream, and I do have a couple of videos on my channel about this very thing too. But what helps me usually is just taking a day and making yourself turn off from the work. I know it's easier said than done, but sometimes just taking a day to watch a show that you've been meaning to watch, read a book that you've been meaning to read, crochet that blanket, or at least start the blanket, something. Go take walks. Do something that is different. Do something that is not going to work that section of your brain.
Yes.
Yeah, it that's what helps me the most.
Yeah.
And writer's block, like Bex said, can come from all manner of different things. It can come from grief. I've dealt with that. I'm still dealing with that. I still fight writer's block on a daily basis still because of my grief. And it's difficult. It's tough. But you can do it. You just have to learn your brain, you have to learn your practices, and you have to learn what best works for you in order for you to continue to work towards your goals and to make sure that you are taking time for you and being healthy.
Yes.
As well.
And just to add a little bit more to that, sometimes just discovering what it is that has you blocked, maybe you just need, like Sam said, just a mental day, a breather. Maybe you need to, just kind of turn your brain off for a little bit. And maybe you could, listen to the music on the radio, or, watch some TV, try different media to get your mind off of things, or just think about what it is that you've been thinking about. Are you stressed at work? Are you, having a hard time, I don't know, with your neighbor, or maybe a coworker or a friend, even a family member? Sometimes these things sneak up on us. And if you don't address the root of the cause, then, it could turn into a longer block. So sometimes it just takes you looking inward and trying to figure out what it is that has you down or upset. You may not even realize it, but if you address the issue that you may be having with someone else, then sometimes that's just enough to push that fog outward. And that's what I learned. So, but anyway, I hope these things help you. Let me go ahead and bring up some of these comments. So we want to say hello, first of all, to Cagnazzo. And do not worry about being late. We are so happy that you are here. And I think it's all of us. It's that daylight savings time. So let's see. Keisha says, I step away from the project and let my mind rest for a bit. Sometimes I go on a nature hike or go to the river. Those are all excellent ideas. I hope that Meh Chocolate 12, not sure if I pronounced that right, but I hope that they are also helping you with some answers to your question. Let's see. Blame daylight savings time. Yes, exactly. From now on, for the rest of the week, Sam said it already. So she has declared it. Anything that happens this week, it's daylight saving time. Paul.
Yeah, it has my stamp of approval. That's the blame.
That's right. Anybody has any issue, right? Let's see. Here we go. We're gonna bring up this one. Oh, we already see. I am fumbling. It's daylight saving times, guys. It's not my fault. So not my fault. Okay, we're getting hellos and hellos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Laura has a good one. As someone who just came out of 3 months of writer's block, wow, that is a doozy. It's okay. It happens to everyone, professional and hobbyists alike. Sometimes the story needs to percolate in the back of your mind for a while. Let me bring up the next part of that for you. To come up with creative solutions. Sleep. Refill your creative well. Yes, that right there is... that's like chef's kiss, right?
Yeah.
Refill that creative well. Talk to others. People watch. Feed your brain so it has more tools to work with. Now, I will point out something really quick. Feed your brain. Sometimes that can actually be a physical feeding of your brain. Sometimes your brain is just like misfiring because it hasn't got the nutrients that it needs. So stay hydrated. This is your reminder. Stay hydrated and feed your brain some brain food, also with the sleep. Sleep is important. I know a lot of us tend to get off of our sleep schedules, and sometimes just righting that wrong by getting that extra sleep can also help. So talk to others, people watch. Yes, these are all wonderful solutions. Thank you so much, Laura, for helping us answer Chocolate 12's question. So,
he's got another section too.
Okay, go ahead and read that for me.
Okay, here. Yeah. Your story will still be there for you, like a good friend when you have recovered. Sometimes you need to take small steps to get back into it. Sometimes a switch flips in the brain and creativity starts flowing again. Maybe journal about what your hang up is to do so you don't fall for it again and spiral. Yeah.
Yes. See, we have some wonderful writer friends in our chat as always. And if we're not the ones answering the question for you, please be sure to pay attention to the other writers that are in comments, because they have wonderful solutions and we are all here to help one another. So let me go ahead and bring up this comment here with Mama Maggie again.
Okay.
She says to fill the non-writing creative well, and the writer's block will pass, except that this might not be that time for that certain project, and that's okay. Flash fiction also helps and is fun. Yes, flash fiction. Why didn't we say that, Sam?
Daylight savings time.
I know. It's okay. We don't always have to have the answers because we've got experts in the comments, guys. But yes, I didn't even think about that. But flash fiction is a wonderful way to retrain your brain, to do things out of your norm and to get your mind shifted. So when you do come back to your story, whenever that time is, you come to it with fresh eyes. So wonderful, wonderful solution. You guys are killing it in the comments. Okay, let's see. Did we bring up this one?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Okay, and then yeah, now the daylight savings time definitely messes with the schedule a lot too. Yes, it does. We are proof, guys. We are a couple of hot messes over here today, and we're just going with it. We're among friends. It's okay. So they love us anyway. Okay.
We hope that they do.
Well, I love them, and their reciprocation is not. It doesn't matter to me. I love them anyway. If people can hate people for any reason, then I can love people for any reason, right? Like it works both ways.
Oh yeah.
So, let's see. Not YouTube 2022 is real.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So writing flash fiction to prompts eased me back into writing. Yes, it did me as well. Yeah. So these are great, guys. I am so thankful that we have such lovely writers that are also in chat with us. They are always willing to, help other writers just like we are here to do. And they always have great comebacks, great solutions, great advice. So thank you all so much for contributing. Okay, you want to read this one out for me?
Okay. Maggie says, I am so glad that you're back, Laura, and getting so many stories accepted for publishing.
Yes, congratulations. Yes. We are so proud of our writer family. It really does warm our hearts because Sam and I both, we've discussed this at length, and we both really want to uplift our community. We want to be there for one another like a real family is. And sometimes we have ups and downs with whoever in life and on YouTube and the writing community, but it doesn't mean that we don't care. We do care, and we want you all to know that if you ever need somebody, we are here to listen, and we do want to help, and that is why we created this stream. And we think that it has the perfect name, Helping Hands, because that's what we hope to be for our community. Anything that we can do to help other writers, we're here. We're here. So
you might get the crazed Albert Einstein look and some weird answers, but hey,
it's all in love. It's done in love, Says, we love your channels, Bex and Sam.
Mama
Maggie, we love you. Thank you so much. We are just really loving it up today. You would think it was Valentine's Day, so we can pretend.
Yeah.
It's a Valentine's Day do-over. Helping Hands style. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and get on to, I forgot all about our questions for a second, guys.
No.
Question number 3.
All right. So Anonymous Male asks, how do you write a believable character if they are the opposite sex? Any tips for making them read more realistic? Okay, so since this obviously came from a male, what I would do is pick up a romance book that is written by a female and has lots of 5-star reviews, and kind of read it and take notes on how that female thinks. And also just ask some of the females in your life. Pay attention to what they pay attention to. Listen to how they speak. Watch how they move. Ask them what they're thinking sometimes. Like if you notice that they're being hit on by another guy and you're there with them. And, you know, you can kind of ask them later, be like, hey, how did that kind of make you feel? What did you think about that? You know, whatever. Just ask questions and do your research. Anytime that there's, hold on, let me get my thoughts in order here, because I tried to just do two thoughts at once. And so
we need to pull up some Jeopardy music, right?
Yeah. Okay, so one at a time.
Somebody beatbox in chat.
Follow blogs and Ko-fis and channels of female writers. Listen to how they speak. Listen to what they're actually talking about. And in their blogs, notice what they're writing about. Notice the cadence of their words, and just kind of go from there. And once you have written the book or written any snippet of the book, get some female readers to read it as an alpha reader and get them to give you their thoughts on it. You have to get their, okay, you got to put yourself in a woman's shoes too. And that goes for anybody that's trying to write somebody of the opposite sex, or somebody that has a different job, somebody that has a different anything. You have to try to envision what they feel like, what they've been through, and how that will formulate their thoughts and their voice. So yeah, just watch movies, read books, anything about done by a female, especially.
Yes. I'm sorry. Were you done, Sam? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. I'm done.
Oh. She's like, I'm done. Okay. So anonymous male, I would say everything that Sam just said. And also, do not think of gender when you are trying to put it on the page. Just think of it as character. It is not you as that gender. It is just that character. So for me, when I write a male character, I'm not thinking I have to write this male. What I'm thinking is, in my mind, I think of any interactions that I've ever had with brothers, uncles, schoolmates, friends, other family members, anyone that is of that opposite gender or sex. Then I think about those reactions or interactions that I've had, how they spoke, how they, their body language, how they moved, how they, how they address certain situations. Like, were there any mannerisms or types of speech that are a commonality? Or is there if you were doing, say, a female, she would sway as she walks. A man you might describe as, he had a swagger to his walk. So it's really about just playing around with the things that you notice, the things that you see as in body language, and then giving it either that male or female role to it. But there's also something to pay attention to is, you've been around women and men your entire life. You think about who is in your family and people that you went to school with, kids, so you kind of know how one acts, or how one might act in any given situation. Women are more likely, I'm not sure if this is always true, but in my experience, women are more likely to actually ask for directions, whereas men, not so much, So that might be something you can consider. But again, my advice would be to not think of them so much as the gender, but just write the character. And then you can always go back and add body language and, different things to it that will make it sound more male or female. So anyway, that's what I've got. So we're going to try to pull up. Hi, Eva just got here. Hello. we are going to pull up some of these questions, our answers, excuse me. And so, anonymous male, here is another perspective for you. Can you read that for me, Sam?
Make sure your voice does not come out of their mouth and show up in their thoughts. 2, ask a person of that gender how they would react to a given plot situation. And 3, remind yourself you are not writing yourself as that gender, which is very important.
Okay, and then we also have one here.
You want me to get it?
Go ahead. Yeah.
You can get a sensitivity reader or beta readers as well who are the gender you're writing. Ask them to specifically look out for realism of the character's thought process or interview a relative. And then Laura also says, read or watch media with a female protagonist. Yes. And I'm going to always say this too. And if it's by a female, directed by a female, written by a female, that adds a plus too, because there are a lot that are created by men that still have kind of like a male feel to them, you know? So
back up, rewind. Everybody do it with us. What did we do the other night? What was it like? We did was it Mia? So we're cracking up, guys. Rewind. I'm delirious, guys. I'm tired. I'm so tired.
There are lead females in sci-fi and horror. Different females have different orientations as well. If your female is ace, romance may not be on their mind as much. As a female whose main goal is having a family, we're all different and diverse, and as diverse as males. Yes, very much so.
Absolutely.
And like Bex, I want to add, you said that males are less likely to ask for directions. Well, I am one of the females that will not ask for directions.
Oh, okay. So that has been, that has been my experience here, but that is only my experience. So get other people's opinions, get other people's experiences. But I do love the fact that Laura touched on that, because not all female brains are created equal, and not all male brains are created equal, depending on their background or where they grew up, or, their career, their job, their education. So many things can shape a human being. Yeah. So you just need to get out there and ask, take a poll of, 5 or 6 different male, or 5 or 6 different female, or whatever the case may be, to get as many perspectives as you can, because we don't know exactly what kind of character you're writing. So I hope that we answered your question for you, anonymous male. So anyway, let's see. Eva showed up, so I do want to say hello to her.
Okay. All right. Hey, Eva.
And I don't think we have any extra. Oh, yes, we do. Let me pull this one up.
Okay.
Can you read that, please?
Yeah. When I read female characters that focus on sex, love, and relationships, I get bored. But a lot of fiction females have that mentality if romance exists in the work at all. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Now, another thing too, I kind of just thought of this. If you're having problems with your character voice, you might need to step back and do a rebuild of that character, because you might be losing the character's voice and using yours instead.
Yes.
So you might need to flesh out the character a little bit more, get in their head more, and then proceed writing.
Yeah, that's great advice. Yeah, as far as I know, I don't think there is any one size fits all as far as writing, any sex, whether it be male or female. So to me, it's more about, writing the story or writing the character as themselves, period. They don't have to, unless you are specifically asking for the voice, like how to make it sound more female or sound more male. Again, it's subjective. So just write the character that you have come up with, give them specific attributes and traits and mannerisms and body language and ways of thinking and slang that makes it unique to that character, regardless of their gender or sex. So I hope that answered your question, Anonymous Male. We thank you so much for sending it in to us. We're going to move on now to our next question.
All right, here we go. All right, so this is you.
Okay, Melissa Christie Art asks, when working on really large writing projects, I know it's good to keep a book Bible for all important information. How do you guys organize your books? Okay, so I'm assuming you're asking about how we organize a book Bible, like how we keep all that information together and organized. I think that every writer does it different. I mean, there are going to be some similarities basically on the categories. Let me see here real quick. Let me pull this comment up just because I've seen it. Hello, Dee. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so what I do may not work for Sam. What Sam does may not be the way that I do it. I think you just have to find a way of compiling the information and categorizing it in a way that works best for you to keep things straight. So whether that be color coding, whether that be sectioning off, setting, locations, characters, dialogues, anything that has to do with plot or subplot or even, act 1, act 2, act 3. There are so many different ways that you can do it. Me and Sam actually were talking about this the other night, and I showed her because I'm a person who writes by hand. So I have these huge, like, I don't know what you would even call them, containers that are filled with legal pads and folders. And those are my series Bibles. So it really just depends on how much information you need to keep the story straight and to remember the details, especially if you're writing, like more than one book in the series, if it's a series. So you may need to organize it a different way. But again, just do what works for you. But for me, I separate by categories, I separate by character, and I color code everything. So that's how I do it. It may work for you. You can try it, but I'm going to give it over to Sam, and she's going to give you her take.
Okay, so since I know Melissa personally, I'm probably going to end up shooting her my series Bible index.
There you go.
But this is my book 1, I'm No Hero book Bible. Not everything is in here because I haven't organized it since the second round of editing. So yeah. So I have my plot cards over here, and then I have my series Bible index is the first page. So that's how I have each divider divided up, and it's character arcs in that same thing. I have the story arcs next. I have places and settings. I have the organizations. I have the cultures and religions, which includes holidays and a calendar. I have the government. I have magic systems. I have the technology. I have objects and places of importance. I have the language and dialects of the maps and everything. I have a map drawn, and one map is just that. It's the map. Then I have the same map, and I write down where each language and dialects kind of bleed into each other in the regions. I have another map where it has all the different races in each section. So yeah, I have 3 different maps for that because they each depict something different. Then I have a timeline. And then I have my style guide for my writing. I usually don't do the style guide until after I have written the book and edited it. Why is that so hard to say?
Everybody say it together.
At least once. And as I do my edits, I have lists of what I want to focus on each edit, and I have that in my book Bible as well.
Yes.
So yeah, that's
so just to kind of show you guys how big it can get, I have brought out just one of my things that has all my folders for the different categories for my series Bible. So as you can see, I'm an overachiever. What can I say? This, I think mine got kind of, like way, out of hand because I did have several different characters to focus on. And there was so much information that had to tie in because it was a series. So I do think that writing a series Bible, especially if it's actually for a series, so writing a book Bible for an entire series, you may have to have a little more in-depth information because you have to make sure that it's going to be cohesive and consistent throughout the series. So you want to make sure you're keeping that information straight. So whatever way that you need to do that, whether it be organizing by, folders or the things that Sam had said. But this is just, my character profiles of all the different characters. So like it just depends on what amount of information you need and how you would like to categorize it and organize it that makes sense for you and the way that you write. There is no one right answer. So just to give you a few more answers to your question, Melissa, I'm going to go ahead and pull up some, let's see, here we go. Was this it?
Yes. No, that was for the last question, but yeah.
Okay, we did forget to put that up there. Okay, so I think it's this one that I meant to pull up. Is that it? Yes.
That's for the last question too.
Is it? It says I like assigning songs to each of my characters. Oh, remember their voices.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I will get it right, guys. Slowly but surely.
It's a learning process.
Yes. Okay, so we have one by Laura. Laura says, I write my book Bibles by hand in a designated notebook. I draw out the solar systems, family trees, maps, book order for the series, etc. So that, again, is another way that you could do it. And I'm going to pull up Maggie's here. She says, I've lost my character Bible for Relic of Time and Shadow Wars and can only find the one from 2 years ago on my backup drive. Oh, I hate that for you. I hate that for you, Maggie. I'm so sorry. She said the notebook is also missing and she is starting it over again. I'm so sorry. That just blame it on daylight savings time.
Yes.
Everything its fault. So will you go ahead and read this one out?
Okay. For the romance work in progress, this is Eva. I have a map of the town, a faux family tree on Ancestry to keep track of the primary family. I don't need to talk anymore.
Okay. Well, Mama Maggie says that time. I got your back, Sam. I got you. Maggie says that timelines and world building notes are also important to keep organized or they become overwhelming. So just find a system that works for you. I think that's the general consensus here is that do what works for you, whether that be color coding, whether that be categorizing things, whether you need to do extensive, profiles or whatever the case may be. The consensus seems to be have it in one place. So that way, even if it's just a notebook for each person, keep all of those notebooks, all that information, gather it in one place. So that way you can always refer back and just organize it the way that works best for you to be able to retrieve that information when it comes. Yeah. Would that sound about right?
Yeah, there are online options too. There's Campfire, which a lot of writers use. They are amazing at building your world. And yeah, this is the same person, by the way. Cagnazzo is Melissa Christie Arts.
Okay.
I didn't know if you knew that or not.
No, I didn't, but okay. Nice to meet you.
But yeah, Campfire Blaze or just Campfire in general is amazing. And they give you prompts. There's templates that you can follow that you could just fill out. And yeah, Trello is another one that some people use. Notion is another one that some people use. I used to use OneNote because OneNote you can separate into different folders and all that good stuff. And that's a great online tool as well. And just Microsoft Word or Google Docs. I mean, it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be in physical form, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes. So I do know that there are, like I've watched some videos that have everything online, like their timeline, their outline, their character profile sheets, all that stuff is kept on that sort of tech, right? But I would always say have a backup,
Yeah.
have a backup because unfortunately things like what happened to Mama Maggie happens to all of us at one time or another. So, we've all been in that position where we lose something that we have written, and it's just devastating. So my advice would be, regardless of how you put that series Bible together or that book Bible together, however it is that you're going to organize that information, have a backup.
Yeah.
So if you do back it up only, or if you only do it digital and don't want a paper copy or paper format, then at least back it up in different places, right? Right. So that way you have, you have an extra. I can't talk. Words are not working today.
It's
So,
okay. It catches daylight savings time.
oh, okay. So Just Eva says, for my fantasy, I have collections of short stories that essentially are the world building. No separate notes, really. I also have a few attempts at maps. And to continue, she says, for my contemporary family saga, I have a timeline and then a very brief bio of the main players to keep track of how old they are throughout the story, which is really great information to keep, to keep that consistency. So, M.M. Ward, the novel Nana, it's only 1.3 million words. How many characters could there be? Oh, we all have a moment of silence, please. Just bow your heads, guys. I'm so sorry, hon. That just breaks my heart. I know how it feels. I usually well, forever I've been writing by hand. And I can relate to what you're saying here is because when I moved from my old house to my new house, I had written a story a long time ago called The Fabulous Five. Not a great title, but it is what it is. And it was a work in progress. But I had finished the entire thing, and it took me like 2.5 years to write the story, maybe 3 years. But anyway, it was all in paper form. And so when we were moving, we had put that box on the trailer, and it was one of those open trailers, it doesn't have a roof or whatever on it. And I had my story in different boxes because over the years I would finish, one and then put that aside, and then I would start the next one. And anywho, long story short, I lost like a huge portion of that book, like 11 to 12 chapters at least, that were never accounted for. And that was the first story that I'd ever written start to finish. Just a huge, huge story. And it just, it's gone forever. So I understand. My heart breaks for you. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much, Melissa, for all of the wonderful questions. And thank you to everyone in chat that is helping us answer them. Let's see. We're going to go on this one. Talking is fun when you learn how. Speaking from post-stroke experience for the last 6 years.
My only excuse is daylight savings time.
Yeah, that's our excuse. We are not allowing any other excuse in this chat. Like, not on this live stream, y'all. We blame it on the daylight savings time. Okay, so let's bring up this one right here. Dee says, I made a series Bible for each character. Now, that is a great way to also do it, to break it down by character.
I need a video on this, Dee.
Yes, Dee, we want to see it. We want to see it. Okay, so Melissa says, sorry for the confusion, personal account versus my work one. Completely understand, not a problem. I hope that we answered your question. Let's see here. She says, thank you. Been trying different ideas but each one kept failing once it got too large. So wanted to get ideas how others handle it. This works. Yay! Then we helped. I'm so glad. Birds are weird. Or so weird. What is that? Words are hard. Yes. I blame it on daylight savings time, guys. I've got tears. Hashtag birds are weird. We are delirious right now, guys. Delirious. We're so tired.
Okay. All right.
Okay, we're gonna try this one more time without tears. Okay. Words are hard. Yes. Moment of silence. I don't know if that was for the birds are weird comment or not.
It's all of the above.
I don't even have my watermelon mascara, so I'm so sorry. Well, I'm almost scared of our band. I got embarrassed. Okay, we're all friends here.
Right. It's fine. We're family.
Oh, it's fine. Everything's fine. We're fine. She's fine. I'm fine. We're all fine. It's fine. So, okay. So, that's devastating, Bex. Moment of silence for your loss as well. Thank you. Well, mine wasn't no 1 or 3 million words. So my heart goes out to Maggie because I can only imagine. I only lost, a chunk of chapters, but my eyes are all blurry, guys. I only lost a chunk of chapters, but to lose that much, Maggie, my heart just breaks for you, honey. Breaks. Okay. Make you laugh, I wince. Of course, Keisha's got to laugh at me. Of course she does. I am here for you guys' entertainment. Once a month, every month, alternating channels. I do it for you. You're welcome.
Yeah. This right here, helping hands. When you're here, you're family.
That's right. And we are all just going to rag on each other. We will not be disrespectful or mean about it. We do it in love.
Yeah.
Okay. How much mascara do I have on my face right now? I don't even know. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Family.
Well, you see what happened. Birds are weird. It's going to be a hashtag. You just wait. What would happen was this is an ongoing thing, especially in our family. Like, that's how almost every story starts. Or at least in some part of the story, it's like, well, you see, what had happened was. Oh, no. Okay, you'll have to read this. I am blurred out. Like, I can't even see.
So Maggie says, I'm super diligent about backing up things, but I just wasn't carrying over that particular document. So it is my own fault. Oh, still.
I mean, that just, oof.
It happens to everyone who writes, though, because, I mean, I had a laptop go down on me. Like, the hard drive just went out. So I lost the first 20 chapters of my Montana's Wolf book. And yeah, that hurt.
I think we can all relate. I'm not, oh gosh, wait a minute. I thought this said something totally different. I'm so glad that I didn't read it the way I thought it said. I think you guys know what I was going to say. It's like, we are getting old. Sometimes you cough, you sneeze, and I'm just going to, I don't know how to edit, or I would edit that out, I'm not. Nothing. We're done. In stream. We can't. We have 20 more minutes, and we still have. We have more questions to get to.
Yeah, we've got like 3 more, I think.
Everyone on replay, we do it for you. It's all for you guys. We want to make sure that you have some entertainment. When you come back, oh wow, did you see that? My glasses were like, time to read. Oh man, Okay.
Questions.
Back to the questions.
Questions.
Wait, when was that, Sam?
So the black laptop, when it crashed and I had to go to the silver one, I think it was. Yeah. No, the Dell laptop to the HP. This was back in college.
Now see, that's always a that's always a good thing when you correct yourself because like I don't know about all of you, but there's always been some part when you're telling a story, and especially if it's denoted by a certain event. And if you're like me, you usually do it by what house you lived in, or who you were with, or what age you were, and you're like telling the story, and you're like, well, I was 17 and da da da, and you're like, wait, no, I wasn't, because we lived in this house. I was 15, and no, wait a minute, I was 16 because I had my you know what I mean? It's like you just I don't know what I'm thinking, guys. I'm sorry. Back to the questions. I'm sorry. Yeah. Back to the questions. Yes. See, Mama Maggie agrees.
Yeah.
Best live I've seen. Oh, honey, you need to get out more. But I thank you. We love you. We love you.
No, okay. It's good. I've got it now. I had somebody hack into the hard drive and they found snippets of everything. So I've got the 18 chapters. It was just the last 2 chapters were irreplaceable, or they couldn't pull it up. So I have the 18 chapters. So we're good.
Okay, we're all good. We're all fine. Yep. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Sam's fine. I'm fine. People in chat are fine. We're fine. We're moving on. Next question.
Whose turn is it? Is it mine? It's mine. Okay. All right. So, right teen, which is a nice little play on words there.
I love that too, right?
What makes a first line compelling? Now, we are going to have some links in the description for this right here, but
Mama Maggie. Don't make my face turn red again. It's not a good color on me. I want to go hide now, guys.
No, you're fine. I can't do this
Peace
alone.
Out.
We've had this discussion. I cannot do this alone.
I cannot do this again. Sorry, guys. We are doing some inside jokes here, but we'll let you in on them later once we get all these questions answered. They may not be as funny to you, but they were funny at the time. And just replaying it makes me. It wasn't funny. I mean, it was. I just heard it again.
All right. Get back to the question.
Sid. Okay, sorry.
Okay. Breathe in. Deep breath. Okay. So, to me, a compelling first line is a good introduction, but it has to leave you asking a question too. Like there's something that's unanswered that makes you ask why, or what happens next, or just how did that happen, or something like that. It has to ask a question to make you want to read further. So go through and read some of the classics and read their first lines. I mean, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Okay, what made it both of those at the same time? Made you ask a question.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, I think that pretty much sums it up. So, I mean, I'll try to elaborate a little bit, but that is the point, is to hook your reader in, right? So you can do that by piquing their interest or giving us maybe a sample of what's to come, or maybe a unique scenario or a unique setting that you don't read about all the time, like All the Clocks Striking 13. That's something you don't hear every day. Or what was it, Ray Bradbury's It Was a Pleasure to Burn. Why is it a pleasure to burn? What's burning? That kind of thing. When it makes you ask a question, when you want to know more. Also a good line, it's subjective, but to make a line compelling, I would say you can either hit on, the genre, the tone, or the mood, or the plot, any of those things that you can weave naturally into that, first line, or the sequential lines afterwards. But that first line needs to hook you in enough to where you will go on and read the next line and the next line and the next line. I think I've shared this on my channel before, about I had all these old starts and stops to books of mine, and one of the opening lines was, I can't remember the character name that I gave her, so I'll just make up a name. But, Agatha was stabbed for the second time today with a fork. So, it's just, you obviously, you don't get stabbed every day, and surely not twice in one day, and then with a fork. Like, that's really specific things. And it's a very short sentence, but it piques interest. So just remember to hook your reader in, and, you don't have to go all crazy or whatnot with it, but just something that's going to spark a little interest. So that's the best way I think we can answer that one. So let's go ahead and welcome SD Houston. Hi, Shannon. Thank you so much for being here. I did realize that you just came in. So let's see. Was there anything? Okay, I'm looking. Okay, here we go. Just Eva says, the first line doesn't have to be very compelling, in my opinion. The first paragraph or two, though, should lure the reader in. To do that, tell them something interesting, but leave out the details. So that is another take on this question answer for you. And then again, she says, when, where, why, how, who. Leave the reader wanting to know the answer to one or more of these, and they'll keep going. Yep. So that is great. Melissa says, the hook. Yes. Let's see here. This and the
blurb.
Okay, I'm seeing burb.
Yeah, blurb.
Blurb. Burb needs to be basically clickbait. Okay, yes, clickbait. Yum. Okay, Sam, we're going to get through this, babe. We only have like 17 minutes left. We're good. Bear with us, guys. Stay with us for the long ride. Yes, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Absolutely. That was a great line. Hello, all. Made friends with the like button. So glad that you did that. Jinx Sam.
Yeah, because it was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Oh, gotcha. See,
yeah.
I'm so far behind here, guys. And then we have this one. What makes the story most interesting to you? Leave that part at the end of the hook.
Yeah.
Great advice there. And then we have people saying hello to each other. Then we have Melissa saying, yep, clickbait more so than ever these days. Now, isn't that the truth, especially with YouTube videos? I know that's not the topic. Don't let me get off, because we will be on for another hour, and we don't want that. We are tired. Okay. Focus. What was our code word? Remember our code phrase when Becky starts? Beep, beep, Becky.
Oh yeah. I need to write that down somewhere, because I'm never going to remember that.
Beep, beep, Bex. Okay, so we were talking on Friday, and here I am getting off topic. See, this is how it works. The beep beep. If you guys remember the old It movie with John Boy Walton as what's his real name? Richard Thomas, the guy with the mole on his face. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, he was in the first movie, It, the original from like forever ago. And one of the lines that him and all the other characters say to the guy that used to play on Night Court as the judge, they always say to him, beep, beep, Richie, beep, beep, meaning, you know what I mean? Like, shut up. So that's what, anytime you guys see me getting like, just say beep, beep, Bex. So anyway, there, we just let you in on the insider information. See, I'm bringing you guys in. We're family. That's all good.
Yep.
Okay, so anywho, we have them just talking to one another. And then let's see, what was this? It's definitely its job now. I want to know what happened there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm guessing that was about maybe the fork. Second time today. First line from the book I just put on Vela. I don't know what Vela is, but Sam will fill me in later.
Yeah. So this is the first line that she put up on Vela. Flashes of lightning and the roar of a tornado from a giant storm rushing into the valley and toward her home drove her desperation.
Ooh, I like it. I mean, that is a good sentence, and it's a long one, so that would definitely keep me reading. Because if I read that much already, I'm of course going to keep reading down that entire page because I want to know more. So yeah, that's great imagery. Oh, and that's exactly what Shannon says. Great minds, guys. We are just well, obviously not like that because that was like there we go. We're like this. We're like this. I can snap. It's been a long day, guys. A long, long day. Okay. Sophia, thank you so much for joining us. We are happy to have you here. We are kind of losing it.
I think we've already lost it.
It's
gone. It's bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Yeah. Here's mine from my third book. For the first time in a year, Marigold took a breath. Oh, I forgot to put that up.
There you go. I got you.
Thank you. She got my back. Okay. People just saying hello to each other. Okay. Was there anything else? Oh, here we go. The second line, memories and reality overlapping as the worst day of her life tried to happen twice. Love it. Beep, beep. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Avocado. I don't know what this is referring to, but
you're going to have Margaret Pinard and Maggie's live. That's what avocado and bananas from.
Okay.
It's on Margaret Pinard's channel, I do believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that. Is that another like hush kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sophia, let's see what this one says. Sick for COVID for a while. Oh, I'm so sorry. Now my cat's a little sick. I'm so sorry. I'm so glad you stumbled over here to my channel. I appreciate it. And we are happy to have you here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pedialyte. If you don't know, Pedialyte is a lifesaver while you have COVID. Just
great information.
FYI.
See, guys, we are writers helping other writers, not just in writerly books, but in their writer lives. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, let's go ahead and put up Eva's first line here. Let me see if I can do it. There we go. The first time I remember seeing my daddy get mad was when I was 5 years old. Yeah. I do like that sentence. It brings you right in. So great job. Everyone wishing her well. Sophia. Okay. Let's see. And then here is another one from Eva. Do you want to read that one? You're like, no.
My attempts to prepare a live chicken for dinner to help out Mama, like you told me to, Daddy, didn't go the way I had thought it would with my young ambitions.
Alrighty. I've forgotten where that story started. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, I guess we better get back on here. We'll do this one more. Yeah. For the first time in a year, Marigold took a breath. Everything was dark because she couldn't get her eyes to open. but the scent of fresh flowers filled the space around her. That is great
Wow.
sensory detail. So I really, really like that. Okay, we are going to get right back into these questions, guys. We are now on to question number, what is it? 6?
6. Yeah.
Okay, this one was shouted out to me. Let's see, this is from Emule, and he says, do you guys have any advice on Plancer editing tips? I can give you 2 options, okay? But just remember, you cannot edit a blank page. So if you are planting, you are going to be a little bit of both. So either write it all down and then edit it later, or you can write a chapter and then save that chapter for the next day to edit it. And then before you start something new, just edit the one before. So if you keep writing a chapter one day, then use the other side of your brain to edit for one day and then go back to writing. And this will kind of help you catch things that you might not have before. So attention is here. Hello, attention. I just saw you. Let me give you some attention. And for attention. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. But that's the one that I have for you. So I'm going to go ahead and turn you over to Sam, and she's going to give you her answer for that.
Okay, because I'm very much a planter. So what I do, or what I did for I'm No Hero Book 1, is I reread it after taking a month-long break. I got fresh eyes on it, and I reread it. Then I reread it a second time. And that second time, I wrote a synopsis of every chapter in that second reread. Then I did developmental edits. I went chapter by chapter, scene by scene, to see if I needed to keep it, to see if I needed to move those around, and if I needed to see if I needed to flesh anything out. And then I narrowed it down. I went scene by scene and made sure that they were as important as they needed to be in order to move the story forward, in order to move the plot forward, and I made sure that each one made a character grow. And then I did like copy edits and stuff like that, and then prose and stuff after that. So yeah.
And another thing too, when you're editing, depending on what type of edits you're wanting to do, whether they just be line by line or, structure or something like that. Sometimes if you just reread it and just make yourself little notes as you go, that could really help out just by jotting just a few lines, like replace this word, or, sometimes you can use a blank when you're writing that you can always fill in later, like a placeholder.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what type of editing you're doing. And, if you have any other questions or whatever, just go ahead and send them to us and we'll try to answer in more in depth. But we are running out of time, guys, so we do need to get to the rest of the questions. And I'm going to pop up some answers from our comment section in chat here, and maybe this might help. So I always do a light edit at the end of the day, but it is because my brain misses words and verb tenses. But when I finish a draft, I have to let it rest before the next levels of editing, which is exactly what Sam was saying. Sometimes you need to give that time and space in order for your brain to catch it, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So let's see. Here is another. Don't try to do developmental editing when you are doing line by line. A helpful hint from Mama Maggie is to listening to your computer reading the document to you. It will help you catch things you miss reading. That is a great piece of advice. I have noticed that has worked for me because oftentimes when we are reading our own thing over and over, our mind is telling us that it's already there. And, it's really not. So, and sometimes just printing it out, a different format, or even changing the font can help you find things that you missed the first go round. So you could try that as well. I hope that helped answer your question for you, dear. And go ahead, Sam.
Okay. Always do your edits separately. Editing is a very, very thorough process. So you don't want to try to hit all the things all at the same time.
Right.
You want to do the developmental edit first, let it sit, then do your next set of edits, let it sit. Now, it can be like 3 days, it can be a week, it can be a month. It's however your mind processes things so that you can have fresh eyes on it to catch the things that you need to catch. Also, Grammarly or Pro Writing Aid especially, I adore, and it's well worth the money. Are very, very useful when tightening your prose and doing line edits, copy edits, and stuff like that. I forgot to mention that earlier. Sorry.
No, that's actually a great tip to give. So let's see. Been editing most of the day. So much fun. Line edits should be after the story plot and character arcs are solidly there. Yes, waste of time prior to that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And proofreading is the final step. So just depending on what kind of edits that you're wanting to do, take the time to do those types of edits separately, because you do use different parts of your brain for different types of things. Qwerty is here. Hi, Qwerty. Thank you so much for stopping by, hon. We love you. In the middle of a big sewing project at the moment, but hi, I'm so glad you came. I miss seeing your wonderful face. Yes, I'm still learning the editing part, says Keisha. Write the dang thing. Okay, guys, we literally have 5 minutes left, so we need to go ahead and get to the next question.
All right. Kyle G asked, what things should I pay attention to and take notes on while people watching? Okay, first of all, do not stalk anybody.
Right.
And if you... it also helps if you wear sunglasses, because then people won't notice that you're watching them, so they will act more natural. And that's not because I used to be a stalker or anything in a past life.
Not at all.
But okay. But what I usually take notes on is their body language. That's the most that I pick up on when people watching is body language, how they greet other people, how they don't greet other people. If you're sitting in a park, I notice how they react to the animals in the park, or what they're actually focusing on in the park. Are they looking at the trees? Are they bird watching? Are they watching the ducks in the lake? And that's like different character traits that you can use for your characters. Animal lovers versus actual nature lovers, or people watchers versus people who are there to run or get exercise. Use body language and whatever you can pick up on as character traits. Yes. The other thing is, if you can eavesdrop on a couple of conversations, pay attention to dialogue. How do they talk to each other? What can you glean from that type of relationship? How do you know from that dialogue that they are husband and wife or mother and daughter if you didn't have actual eyes on them?
Yes.
So that's what I would take notes on. Body language, dialogue. That's pretty much all I do while people watching.
Which is great. Very great answer. I actually had a lot of similar things to say on that. So I will just say, yes, the dialogue, yes, the body language, but also look for the subtext behind that dialogue, or the subtext behind their movements and their mannerisms. Follow their eyes, where their eyes are drawn to, which I think Sam also touched on that. So, sometimes people will be deep in thought. So that is something you can pay attention to. Also, their interactions, any subtle movements or mannerisms or gestures, subtle movements, facial cues, expressions, all of these things can let you kind of get a glimpse of, what they are about. Do they, shy away, or what's that word that I'm looking for? Words are hard. Do they flinch, if it's a female sitting by herself, does she flinch when a man walks by? That could give you a whole nother thing, because that is, again, going along with that subtext. So Anyway, those are types of things that you can be paying attention to when you are people watching. Again, with the dialogue, the tone in which they are saying something, you can pick up on a lot of sarcasm or jokes or, heavy feelings. It just depends on what exactly you're wanting the watching for. I don't suggest that you be stalking. I hope this is for a book because we are writers helping writers, not writers helping stalkers. But I digress. So let's see here. Nat, I'm not sure.
Natalie.
Okay, I didn't want to pronounce your name wrong. Hiya, all late because I was too busy with figuring out and don't laugh a dialogue. That's totally fine. We are so happy that you were here. You can always catch the replay. Real quick, let me pop up some comments. I use my phone and sneak closer to catch their conversations. Sometimes I get really good dialogue. I also look at their hairstyles for inspiration. That's another thing, the way they are dressed, the way they are moving. Like say, you can learn a lot about somebody, by their dress, if it's, button up kind of collar thing or blue collar, or even like, how a homeless person might dress, or maybe a person that goes against regular weather. Like we've all seen those people, and I'm one of them, in the dead of winter, snow on the ground, I'm barefoot and in t-shirts and shorts. So, that's just me. So, but you can tell a lot about a person by paying close attention to their hairstyles, their outer appearance, all that stuff. So that's very good to note. Okay, we've got people saying hello in the chat. We have not writers helping stalkers. There we go. We've done another hashtag. What was our first? Birds are weird. So watch, don't follow is Keisha's advice. Silent H in my name. Thank you so much. I will remember that for next time. Don't get caught. What was it? Don't get caught recording people without permission, because in some places it is a crime. Okay. And then Eva says, in most places it is a crime. Okay. So Kyle G, I really hope that we were able to help. I'm going to pull up this one last comment here. Their mannerisms, how they walk, how they move, their arms, their hands, facial reactions to other people, what they are doing. Are they waiting for someone? Are they lonely? Are they happy? So yes, all of these things absolutely are things that you can pay attention to while people watching. And I'm hoping that it is for character development. That's what we are going to just straight across the board. That's what we're saying that it's for. So and we will all say a silent prayer tonight. Kyle G, we are sending our love out to you. Nothing hard over here. We're not judgmental at all. We love you. Thank you so much for your question. We sure do appreciate you. So thank you again, guys, for being here. We are fixing to close out. And if you're here for the replay, we thank you so much for catching us at a later time and sticking it out and joining in with our shenanigans and our tired brains. But anyway, next month, I do want to remind you guys that next month, Helping Hands with Bex and Sam will be back on Sam's channel. And as you know, we do alternate. Thank you guys again for being here. Eva says, great questions and answer. Thanks for this. Have a great day. So bye to you, Eva. And then, yes, I stalk Melissa. I stalk people on TikTok for character studies. Does that count? I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. And
live streams.
Yes, right here. All of it, just all of it. And daylight saving times, watch people during daylight savings. So that's always a great place to get your content. Characters, I can't talk. Words are hard. I'm sorry. Anyway, okay, so let's go ahead and pull up this. You find it? Oh my gosh. I can't see.
What are you looking for?
I'm trying to. I don't know. Okay, here we go. So we do have a quote to leave you guys with. I'm so sorry. Not again. I'm sorry. It will get better, guys. It's all blamed on savings daylight or daylight. Words are hard. Daylight savings time. Okay, here's the quote for you guys. You are never too old to set another goal or dream a new dream. says C.S. Lewis. And, so anyway, guys, we're going to do our outros. Thank you so much for being here. Again, I am Bex. My channel is The Novel Nana. I also haven't even told you what I do. This is great. This is going spectacular. I make videos about writerly related things. I often do tags, and I'm not always like this. Maybe I am. I don't know. I may, believe it or not, I'm a horror writer. I write in the horror genre, thriller, suspense. I can't get through this. Zen. Okay. You can find me on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on my YouTube channel, which is The Novel Nana. And I also host CGL Critique Group Live over on Barrett Laurie's channel. I am a co-host to that. And then once a month, you can find me either on my channel or on my beautiful co-host Sam Wicker's channel. And this is our Helping Hands live stream with Bex and Sam, where it is writers helping writers. Again, guys, we have listed links in the description box below for you. Please go back and read the description. Just for the simple sake, we've got resources for you that will help in all kinds of ways. So real quick, goodbye, everybody. I'm going to turn it over to Sam to let her do her outro. We love you all.
Hey, everybody. For those of you that don't know, my channel on here is writer Sam Wicker, and I write fantasy, and I usually throw romance in there. I do dabble in other genres too. It just whatever takes my fancy and doesn't drive me crazy. But it usually does anyway. But on my channel, you will find my tips and tricks on writing and writing with depression and anxiety and writing with grief, and some updates on what I might have accomplished or what I wish to accomplish and probably fail at. And it's okay because we're all here.
Real quick, I did want to put up this comment. Says, can we please do a shout out for the brave Ukrainians? Yes, absolutely. Ukraine, you have our thoughts, our prayers, our well wishes. We will support you any way that we can. And our hearts just go out to you right now. But you are in our thoughts. You are in our prayers. And we send you all the love, all the love. Okay. Sam is doing Hold My Raccoon 2022. For those of you who are late or you didn't catch the first part of this, real quick, we did create a tag. It will be out what day?
31st.
The 31st. Yes. Thank you. The 31st of this month, Sam and I come up with a tag. She had named the writer's spouse tag, something.
Spouse of a writer.
You guys will figure it out. You guys will figure it out. You'll see it on the 31st. That's all we got to say. We love you all. And now we are going to say bye-bye. Bye-bye. We love y'all. Bye, guys.